All right, good morning, Graham. We are back with audio this time. We are celebrating an Auburn victory. Graham, it was well documented. I was nervous, but the Georgia O line and Georgia running game came through, and we won, covered, and got a big road victory.
Yeah, man. No, I think you were right. Like first half, they really struggled in the run game. Things got better in the second half. So, yeah, I feel like the concerns were warranted, but the the O line looked different after halftime for sure. I think it would have been a little bit tighter game in the second half if they hadn't been able to establish the run the way they were after halftime.
Well, I've got some of the blocking grades pulled up that you dropped in the document, and we were high 60s and low 70s for for the O linemen. So, what do you want to talk about? Any individual grades you want to talk about here?
I mean, Broderick Jones, highest pass block grade. The run block grade is good. I think it's second among the guys that got kind of starting snaps on the O line behind Warren McClendon. So he did a really good job coming in for Jamari Sawyer. And Sawyer graded out well too, but I think that he kind of established himself at that left tackle position. And we've talked a lot about what a luxury it would be for Georgia if someone could take over that left tackle spot and Sawyer could move back to guard. So I wouldn't be shocked if we saw that lineup this week against Kentucky. But the run block grade for Darnell Washington too was kind of, off the charts, 79, highest on the team. I think having him back has helped the run game a lot as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to have Broderick Jones and some of these guys find their natural positions. And, it took us a few games last year to find our O-line. It seems to be the case this year. So with that, you wanted to jump into the offensive plays first?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me do this. Oops. Boop. All right. Play 21.
Yeah, so Auburn really loaded up on the run early, and I think it surprised Georgia a little bit since Auburn played a lot of soft zone last week against LSU. Here you've got 8 guys in the box within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage, and I think Georgia struggled running early, and, we saw kind of, a lot of like run, pass on 2 of its first 3 first and 10s. If you want to go ahead to so here you've got this little comeback route to McConkey, kind of starting, like, I felt like that set Auburn up for some of those deep plays later, and we talk about this with Monken a lot, kind of the layers. He'll show a secondary something and get them to bite on a double move later on, and felt like that's what he did here. But also that's an insanely good, accurate pass on the run by Stetson Bennett. So credit to him for, like, he was very sharp in this game.
Yeah, he played great.
Yeah, and then we've got another 1st and 10, another throw down field. Great work by Bennett and Brock Bowers. Bowers absolutely burns that safety off the line. I just don't think you can cover him with a safety. So good route running by Mitchell as well to sort of influence the safety. And then I'm only half joking when I say Georgia should run this play like 20% of the time. I have zero idea how you defend Darnell Washington in that situation unless you interfere with him. He almost comes up at that ball one-handed, but I'd like to see him isolated one-on-one like that more often, because I think you either give up a pass or you get 15 yards on a flag. Erickson and Cedric Van Pran get kind of blown up here. The Auburn D tackle just submarined them and stopped that play before it even really started. They're kind of some of those struggles early on the O-line that we were talking about. Here we've got –
all right, skip the next one. Here we go.
This is that running element that Stetson brings to the offense that JT doesn't. And, I'm not really behind the quarterback controversy conversation, but I do think having a quarterback with wheels changes a lot of things in the run game and gives you a lot of options. And we saw that a few times on Saturday, and credit to Monken for tailoring his offense to who was playing.
On a side note, Smoke Monday, if he's going to play, he's got to learn not to do that. That's that's a nasty hit, and I know he's playing hard. He's probably not a headhunter, but he's just got to, he's got to play better than that and tackle better than that.
I mean, if that doesn't hit JT in the face mask, I feel like, or I'm sorry, Stetson if that hits Stetson on the side of the helmet, I feel like he may have been knocked out of that game. This is beautiful. Zeus at fullback, Milton at running back, Bennett at quarterback. But what I really want to point out is this is actually a triple option look. You see Bennett and Milton kind of coming off to the side here. So I almost guarantee you we see this down the road with a fake handoff to Zeus and Bennett coming around the outside ready to pitch or keep it in the end zone in short yardage. So it's the kind of Monken crumbs that we talk about here where he'll lay some stuff on tape to make your life hard later on if you're a DC.
And I mean, call me crazy. Maybe I'm having PTSD from the Florida game a few years ago. Those short yardage runs have not been executed particularly well, but that one sure was. And you
they have not,
yeah. So that was a great run, and I love to see the dive play actually work. Or I don't know, it's not a dive play, but see Zeus get in with the effort over the top.
Yeah, and I mean Schaefer and Sawyer and SVP really blocked that well. So it was awesome. This is a carry that Milton gets earlier in the game. He doesn't really read this super well. Like if he busts that left, there's a pretty big hole between I think the tackle and the guard there, and he's got a chance with a wide receiver out there to get a block and possibly
right towards that SEC logo is what the hole you're looking at.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's a chance there that goes a very long way. Young back still getting kind of carries and getting vision. I thought he did some really good things later in the game, but that was one I bet he wishes he could have back. We talked in pregame about Auburn being susceptible to RPOs. This was a really nice read by Bennett and a good throw between the linebackers and DBs. Also great to see Darnell back out there doing Darnell Washington things. It's got to be nice as a quarterback to throw to a 6'7" dude with those arms. Like it's pretty impossible to miss him out in the open field. But yeah, he looked healthy, man. Moving well, running well. So that was nice to see if you're a Georgia fan. This, man, look at McConkey like putting the moves on the DB here. I told you that comeback route earlier was setting up the DB. Here he puts that fake on him. Like he's going to come back, gets clear by 5 yards. A little bit of an underthrown ball by Stetson, but right here we cash it in for a touchdown. You've got Mitchell. The route running, man, like for a true freshman is really impressive. Those are tight quarters there. He puts the move on him, makes himself an easy target. These young wide receivers really have come in and know how to run routes, and that's been a problem a little bit at times in the past with some of Georgia's receivers. So impressive. Here you've got poor blocking by Jalen Johnson and Brock Bowers. Like if you're a walk-on like Jalen Johnson is, who's getting a scholarship and, getting on the field, those are kind of the plays you've got to make. I'm sure he'll get some grief in the film room for that this week. Just that whole play got blown up, basically.
Yeah, he was waiting for the guy to come to him. He's got to go engage that block and get on him, it feels like.
Totally. And then, coming out second half, run game was beautiful. A lot of it had to do with Broderick Jones. Look at him move this edge defender here. I think we've got a reverse angle. Yeah, you see him moving that defender, about 3 yards from left to right and sealing that block for Zamir. And then obviously Darnell doing his thing in the run game like always. So impressive there. But yeah, Georgia ran it 8 times in a row to start the third quarter. And I thought that was a statement that Georgia was going to run on Auburn even against the stack box. And they did. Beautiful work on the right side by McClendon here. Bowers and Fitz as well. I just thought this line played really angry in the second half. It was a lot like the attitude we saw against Arkansas. And then this is, right here, a perfect ball. This is as good as you can do it. Vlad Mcconkey absolutely burning folks. This kid's going to have an incredible career, man. I mean, he's a complete wide receiver. Like he's a technical with his routes on the underneath stuff and the meshes and the outs and the ends and the comebacks. And then he'll, just burn you at the top of a route. And, we talked about the Auburn corner. I'm forgetting his name now, that we thought that Ladd would burn, but 3 times McConkey got matched up on him for big catches. 2 of them were those long ones down the field. So yeah, it was, it's kind of reassuring to see Monken seeing some of the things that we're seeing on tape. And then right here, I thought this was kind of the biggest drive of the game. Auburn scored to make it a 2-possession game. It felt like the tide was shifting. From this point forward, once it became 24-10, Georgia possessed the ball 15-28 to 4:03 for the rest of the game. And they outscored Auburn 10-0. A lot of that was Zamir. And then that 3rd and 2 here, I thought, like, this is, basically mocking, pardon the phrase, but like letting his nuts hang. Like, this is just, key moment in the game. Got to have a first down. You pull something out of the bag of tricks. You let your, walk-on quarterback run for 35 yards. I trust him more in big moments than I think I've ever trusted a Georgia offensive coordinator to this point.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt like we outcoached him. We've seen this. Everyone wants to compare to previous coaching staffs and stuff, and it just felt like we were on the coaching. We had definite coaching edge, and whatever defense plan A there was, Monken had a plan B that was going to expose him and move the ball and score points. So.
100%, yeah. And then this is just the offensive line going to work on that last drive. 10 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. You see the all 3 tight ends right here get some, like, beautiful stuff here. And then Zeus and Milton doling out punishment. They ran physically, always fell forward. Really great work by those guys in the OL. And then James Cook looks like a different dude than he used to be, man. That's 3-4 missed tackles, keeping his feet, good balance. And then, like, that reverse angle, look at Ladd blocking. I thought he did a great job in the run game. 84 right there. Him and Bowers sealing that hole up, letting Cook get to the second level. And he gets to the second level, makes a few guys miss. I mean, that's what you want if you're an O-line coach or an OC. Like, give the guys a chance to get up there against those linebackers and make some moves. Here you've got the offensive line missing the pickup. Zeus makes it work anyways. Dude is just a stud. When you see this reverse angle here, it looks like SVP was on the wrong guy. But, that's why you have good 5-star running backs. They'll bail you out from time to time. Erickson probably should have picked up the guy Van Pran was on. Van Pran shifts left. But Zamir, man, just leans and finds these little creases and holes. His vision has just become phenomenal. So exciting stuff there.
Yeah, it was. If you're wondering if we're still RBU, no matter what explosive or yards per play stats you put out there, when you put up a 6-minute or whatever drive with nothing but rushes and 20,000 people see it on Twitter and 10,000 people watch it, and yeah, that shows you what the Dog fans want to see is run the damn ball. So I put that whole drive up, and yeah, you guys ate it up. So
I didn't see that. Yeah, nice, man. That's
all
awesome.
Right. All right, moving to the defense.
So yeah, Auburn comes out. First play, 4 players in the backfield trying to run up the middle. And then the next play, they tried this jet sweep. So good job reading it by UGA. One of the hardest things about facing this Georgia defense is just how well these guys run sideline to sideline. That speed is really impressive against the Clemsons and the out-of-conference opponents and stuff like that. But even against SEC speed, Georgia has a different level of speed. And then, yeah, this is that – second series of the game. Auburn's up 3-0, and Jalen Carter wasn't really in much on the first series when they had some run success, and then he's here 1st and 10, immediately making himself known. And then, yeah, this Nakobe play on 3rd down, he was great all day on Saturday, but here he read that immediately. Even if that receiver catches it on that 3rd and short, I think he gets tackled short of the stick. So, making the right play, making the right read, being in the right position, and the ball falls to him. So here, man, like, we all make fun of Bo Nix, right? But just watching this game and watching it back, like, he really does present a very unique challenge, and it's hard to stop him. And I think Georgia did a great job keeping him from really having any big inside run lanes and forcing him around the edges. There you saw Tindall's speed and athleticism. And then, Quay Walker was huge in stopping the run in this game. Like, look at the way he fills this is just textbook right here. Just, never gives the running back a chance, comes in, slides around, fills that gap, sitting right there waiting for him, and makes a perfect form tackle. So, that's like the tape that you put on to teach an 8-year-old Pop Warner player how to play linebacker. 3rd and 4, Auburn's going to roll this pocket like we said they would, and great job by Travon Walker. He gets the sack, or the almost sack, but the coverage there was just fantastic. Like, we've seen a lot of teams try this rollout action on Georgia, and they always seem to kind of beat the receivers to the sidelines and take away those angles that those rollouts are designed to create. They defended that very well, both in the secondary and with the D line this year. And again, just the speed of that defense. So this is pretty nuts, right? Can your defensive end? No. Oh wait, that's a sack. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
This is 62.
Yeah, no worries. Do we have 51?
I may not have 51.
No worries. All good. But yeah, I thought that sack, give credit to Adam Anderson there, because he doesn't really get pressure, but he keeps that edge, and Nix looks to kind of throw that ball away. And you see Anderson jump up here on the bottom of the screen, number 19. You see him kind of jump up, and it forces Nix to not throw that ball, and he ends up forcing back inside right into that pressure. So this D line does things to create sacks even when they're not in the position to get the sack themselves. And then
this is 63.
So you've got Travon Walker playing D tackle here, which I thought was interesting. And I think that was probably designed to kind of match up against some of Bo Nix's speed, but he's a D end, and you see him absolutely shuck that center and guard, whoever it was he was matched up on there, and get pressure and keep Nix from being able to throw it downfield. So just something else that he can do. Here you've got Channing Tindall. He's going to read this, react, come downhill, make a tackle. This is just like exactly how you'd want it. Like, he's just so good, man. He's really he's always been an athletically talented guy, but the way he tackles in the run game, I think, is different than what we saw earlier in his career. He was always a good blitzer, but like, he's gotten very stout in those types of physical situations. And then, Georgia looked rough in zone coverage at times. Like, Scene needs to be moving in on that ball quicker, and Kendrick really can't let the wide receiver get inside of him like he does there. So Georgia got kind of lucky on this one. But yeah, I think that's something that they'll work on this week in practice. Beautiful job by Adam Anderson right here. He's on the right side of your screen. He jumps inside of that defensive, or of that tackle, and wraps up the running back before this play even gets going. That was always the knock, right? Can Adam Anderson hang? Can he hold up in the run? He played probably more snaps on Saturday than he's played all year. I think that was to deal with Nix's speed, and he did a great job, both rushing the passer and defending the run. So really has turned into a complete player. And then this is that 4th down right before the half. I know Auburn folks wanted a flag here, but I thought this was really good coverage by Brenny. He never pulled on the wide receiver, and he timed that jump beautifully. He struggled at times in this game. He gave up some plays.
They were targeting him for sure.
They were, yeah. I think they targeted him 7 or 8 times, but I thought this was fantastic work. And, it was kind of identical to that Clemson play that kept that game at 7 points. And, maybe not his best game, but he was timely and clutch when Georgia really needed a play out of him.
But he blows some dead up here.
Yeah, he does. This is just beautiful work there. So he gets his revenge for some of the pass plays over the top. And then
more Tindall.
We've got Tindall again. Yeah, just he fills this hole and stones this big freshman running back from Auburn. That dude is hard. Like, that dude falls forward all the time. So coming in one-on-one and meeting him and standing him up is pretty impressive, man. He's just become such a good player. And then this is the only play of the season so far where Georgia has looked like a bad tackling football team. Kirby Smart will get a lot of mileage out of that tape right there when it comes to keeping this team hungry.
Yep. That one sucked. But I mean, those are the exception. Definitely the exception this year.
And then this was the biggest play of the game, in my opinion. You know, it was 24-10. Georgia gets a field goal. Auburn has a 3rd and 4, and you get, I believe, N'Kobe and Travon, coming in on that blitz there. And, you know, they basically flatten Nix before he ever has a chance to do any of his, you know, his juking and throwing the ball away.
That's probably a 4-down territory if they don't get that sack. So who knows?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, you know, our buddy Chris Marler was talking about this on Twitter yesterday. He shared a little soundbite from their podcast. But in the 2 drives after Auburn made that game 24-10, Georgia held Auburn to 7 plays for -9 yards in the next 2 drives. And then, you know, and then they were up 34-10. And at that point, the game was over. Right. So that was what I thought was dominant. I know I mentioned it before, but Georgia possessed that, you know, 19:31 left in the game. Auburn makes it 24-10. Georgia's time of possession was 15:28 to 4:03 from that point out. So when we needed that run game and wanted to run clock and keep the ball, that they were able to do it late.
Well, Graham, it was an awesome game. I mean, I was certainly well documented my fears, and some of them were there in the first half, but the defense never really had it in doubt. Even if the run game never gets going, you know, that offense was, you know, it was probably, honestly, that was our best game. I felt like the Clemson game was an awesome game, but we really didn't move the ball.
Yeah,
that was certainly, you know, and it's easy to look at the stats from, you know, Vanderbilt and Alabama, Birmingham, and, you know, even South Carolina, but that was far and away our best performance. It bumped our season success rate almost to 50%, which is sort of my goal for this offense to be
nice.
And so we're trending up. We got another undefeated matchup in game day coming this Saturday. I don't know if how many of our watchers and followers are surprised at Kentucky, but I know you and I are not. We thought that they would definitely compete to be the second best team in the East, and here they are.
Clearly. You called the Florida upset, I believe, this offseason. So
yeah,
pats on back for that.
So, all right, with that, we're short and sweet today. We're on the clock today as our daytime shows, but please follow Dog Out West. He's Graham and I am Josh, Dog_stats on Twitter. Please subscribe, leave reviews, interact. We love the comments we're getting. And we'll be back later this week with a Kentucky preview, and we'll need a big stat update from you on our Kentucky preview to kind of. I'm curious where everything stands nationally. I know we're in a hurry today and don't have time to go through it, but I can tell you that their net yards per player in the top. I think they're 11th and stuff, but their defense is not as good as I think the stats would tell you. I think they're allowing 47% success rate, so I think I'm not. This game is not near as concerning as the Auburn game, ironically.
I would agree so far. I'm excited for the Thursday preview. But yeah, man, I know you got to run. I know I got stuff to get to. So thanks for getting this out with me real quick this morning, and appreciate you guys for watching, and hope you guys have a great day. Hope you have a great day as well, Josh.
All right, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.